We are on a 10-game unbeaten streak. We've scored 26 goals, we've only let in 14, we've smashed a couple of decent opponents as well along the way. We're tied for second place in League 2, which is automatic promotion to League 1. And like all my plans, it's slightly ahead of schedule. My name's FM Ajaccio, and you're watching the Return of Gloria with AC Bastia, episode 37. You can see it here in all its glory, if not for the 3-0 shutout by Sochaux, who just recently fired their coach again. We would be on a pretty epic unbeaten run. As it stands, the last few weeks have been pretty epic anyways. After beating Ordez Veyron at home in the French Cup, we were away at Brest and we tied with them 2-2. Georges Alter and Frank with goals. We were then home against Troyes and we tied with them, Frank again with another goal. And then we were home against Ajaccio in the derby, and we absolutely thumped them. Frank would not be denied. 5 goals. 21st, 47th, 49th, 71st, and 76th minute. Antoine Bernade had a 52nd minute goal. Ajaccio put 2 back to kind of sort of make a game out of it. But after the 20th minute, it was essentially over. We were hitting our crosses, we were passing better, we were tackling better. It was just a well-played game. And I was really worried because a few days later, we were playing Grenoble. Now, they're a national team, but it is the French Cup 8th round. I really want to go a bit farther. I laid off the practicing during the week. I gave the guys a couple more training sessions. The training we did wasn't as physically strenuous, and they responded with a 5-1 victory. Anton Knezovic a brace of goals, Frank a goal, Safo Mabaya a goal, Bernade another goal. We were then away at Nancy, and we won 2-1. Jean-Marc Parent and Vincent Gao with a goal. The Gao goal came very, very late. And then we were home against Pau FC, and we drew with them 1-1 thanks to an Antoine Bernade goal right before the end of the first half. So today, it's gonna be a double live com day. It just makes sense. We're gonna play our Coupe League 4th round match against Paris FC, and then we drew Saint Etienne, who are currently 12th in the League 1. For our French Cup 9th round game. So I'm going to go and set my... oh, you know what? Let me show this real quick. So this is the table as it currently stands. Yes, I changed skins again. Amiens is 1 point ahead of both Lorient and ourselves. So at the moment, even though Lorient and us are on the same goal difference, they beat us, so they're ahead. A couple teams behind us in 31 points. A couple teams 29, 28. You know, for a 20-team league, I think it's kind of interesting to say, you know, from about 11th place on down, it's going to be really interesting. It's going to be a hard-fought season this year, but we're doing really well to be where we are. Frank leads the way with 14 goals. Sasha still has a 7.42 rating. Frank Diallo has 7 assists. And we're doing really well. I need to change some of these things around. Yeah, 33 goals is first allowed, 21 goals is 6th best, 40 yellow cards, 5 red cards. So anyhow, I'm going to go check the best 11 and the reserves, and we'll be back with our match against Paris FC in just a bit. Well, we are playing our 4-3-3. Adriani in goal, New, Alter, Mabaya, and Kamara as the defensive back four. Soldevilla as the defensive midfielder behind Padulitis and Parent. Polo and Diallo as the attacking midfielders with Frank up top as the strikers. They are playing a 4-4-1-1. Could be interesting. Okay. I'll admit I'm surprised at how well we're doing. We're not blowing teams out. We're not losing a lot of games. We're playing them close. Oh, Patulis from outside the box. Oh, off the crossbar. That or Dilo got a hand on it and pushed it over. I went back and watched that Polo goal about 6 times, and Patulis sneaks one by Dilo. Okay, let's see this in the 3D. What happened there? It looked like a really soft shot. Kamara sends it in. It's headed away. Padulis, top of the box, outside the D. Oh, Dilo just completely misplayed that. It's possible he may have been hidden from the shot, but still, that was a weak effort by the Paris FC keeper. Anyhow, back to that Polo goal that happened last episode. I'm still trying to figure out what happened. I think the keeper was playing Frank and not the ball. And something happened and Frank just pulled up and the ball snuck by him and went in. It was just a fluke thing. Kamara on the throw-in. Sotovia. Back to Kamara. Taps up to Parent. Out to Frank, who's on the left. He loses it, can't control it. Salmi sends it to De Silva. Back to Dilo. Into the crowd. Knocked down. Polo's going to get it. Holds it up. Sends it out to New on the right. He crosses it in towards Frank, but it's knocked away. New ends up with the errant header. Sends it up to Frank. Wow. That was a shot. Didn't look like it was going in for a second. I thought the angle was going to be too tight, but he went near post. San Luis just misplayed the header. New sends it up. Frank just... It could be an animation thing, but those are two pretty weak efforts by the Paris FC keeper. Yes, he is onside. Well, coming up on halftime, the 2 goals have been the only 2 highlights of the first half. We've had 4 shots, 3 on target, the 1 woodwork hit. Paris FC has had a minuscule possession advantage. They have not had any shots or any on target. If we keep this performance up, I think we can be very proud of ourselves. Bayard, corner kick in for Paris FC, knocked away, but Franchot has it, bounces it off the wall. Ricochets back out to Bayard. He brings it in. San Luis is there, off the crossbar. Oh, looks like he tried tipping it over Adriani, but he put a little too much oomph on it, and it hit the crossbar instead. We're going to bring Istria on. He's finally healthy. He's gotten a couple of games in. And bring Polo off. Kamara sends it in. Mabai. He heads it into the crowd, but it gets knocked back. He sends it back over to Kamara. Crosses in it again. Diallo's there. Just wide right. Jackie Valero is out with a minor injury. He's not on the bench, and as a result, I may be scrambling it a little bit to replace Frank here. He's down to 70%. That's not exactly a good thing. Manchu from just outside the box. Over the wall, past Adriani. That was a nice, well, penalty kick. Well, I never know what to call those. Are they a penalty kick? Florian made a nice effort, but wasn't enough. But we're going to bring Perrin off because he picked up a yellow card. Because when doesn't he pick up a yellow card? Well, Frank is absolutely knackered, so we are going to have to bring Pereira on and play him as an advanced forward. He's not the best at it, but he's the only option I got at the moment. Should be last highlight of the match here. Zukanovic to Franchu. Back to Mezaber. Bounces it off a couple players. Lanze loses it, and it gets sent up by one of the Bastia players, and that is the game. Well done, boys. Patulis, a very nice goal. Frank, a very nice goal. Good performance all around. 11 shots, 5 on target, the 1 woodwork hit. 8 corners, 12 fouls. The PFC are brushed aside by the SAB. You know what? I'm going to do the post-match press conference, and then we're going to be back in 7 days for the French Cup 9th round game. So, back in a few. Well, back in a bit actually turned out to be a little bit longer, and that is because after I stopped recording, they drew the Coupe League quarterfinal match, and we are playing AC Ajaccio, the same team we thumped 6-2 about 6 weeks ago. So I made the executive decision to play Saint Etienne offline, and it was not necessarily the best decision. It was a really good game. We took them all the way to penalty kicks. We lost on penalty kicks. We played them tough. They're a mid-table League One team, and we still almost pulled it out. I'm not quite sure how, but as I switched to the match stats, I didn't do anything differently. I didn't come off the attack. I stayed on positive all match. We had 26 shots, 12 on target, 1 woodwork hit, 2 clear-cut chances, a decent possession advantage, a ton of fouls. Sefo Mabagai got double yellow carded. He went off in the 120th minute. I saved my guys as much as I could. Polo came off because he was just not doing well. And Anaros came on. He's a youngster. He's got potential. He's one of my better youth candidates because he can play 4 positions really well. And he's also a okay striker in a pinch. Technically, he's nowhere near ready, but because of the squad rotation and the reserve game going on and everything like that, he was one person I had on the bench able to play. So play he did, and he did an okay job. Knezovic didn't have the best game, but he played until the 82nd minute. And then I'm still having a hard time getting over this. Soldevilla had a brilliant goal. Let me show you this here. So there's a penalty here. Frank gets tripped, I believe. Ruiz goes into the book. You know what? Let me pause this real quick. We'll watch it in the 3D. So Altair takes the free kick, sends it to Soldevilla, who sends it over to Parent, who launches it up. Brigado was all alone on the left. He crosses it in, but it's knocked away by Sumarno. Diallo gets it back to Soldevilla, and it was a beautiful curling shot. On the 2D, you could literally see the curl on it. It was... That's one of the nice things I liked about FM19 this year, was the fact they added some pretty realistic ball physics to what was going on. A very, very questionable penalty in the 55th minute, just inside the box, led to Dennis Burnick equalizing. He's the one that saw them through, too. He hit the first one. Frank, Soldevilla, and Brigado made their penalty kicks. Pereira and Parent didn't. And we let it slip through our hands. But we did really well. That said, today it is the Coupe League quarterfinals against AC Ajaccio. We had their number last game. Is it time for them to return the favor? Let's find out. Well, we are playing our 4-2-3-1 with the asymmetric defensive midfielder. Adriani in goal, Sasha, Alteri, Medina, and Brigado as the defensive back 4. Soldevilla and Bernardi as the defensive midfielder and midfielder respectively. Polo, Knezovic, and Diallo as the attacking midfielders. And Frank up top as the striker. I do have some health issues going on. Joris is been limited about 45 minutes a game for the longest time. He's 34 years old now. He's just not going to get a lot more playing time this season. So Joaquin Medina comes in. He's a free signee we brought in. Decent potential, I think. The technicals are lacking in a few areas, but he's got really good marking and really good tackling. Love his teamwork. His bravery is also very nice, and the determination is nice as well. He's improved quite a bit with some training. He'll do a job for us today. They're playing a 4-2-3-1, a standard one. And this was very similar to the formation that they were playing when we thumped them 6-2. So that's the 3rd time we've played a League One team, and we got thumped. Well, I take that back. We've played more than one League One team. We got thumped. Oh, Polo with a very nice long shot. That hit the post and went in. He had a little help there, but I don't know what he was doing taking it. But okay, 3 minutes in, we are up 1-0. Knezovic taps it over to him. He does this, I'm going to twirl around and not lose sight of the ball and just take. How was that not called back? Because it looked like Frank was way off sides. I'm not going to say anything, though. Anyhow, we've played a decent amount of League One teams so far, and we've held our own against most of them. We've only been blown out the one time, as I recall, and that was against Marseille, and that was when we were at our weakest. But, you know, we beat the 6th best team in the league last year. We came close to beating the 5th best team in the league year before last, if I remember correctly. Saint Etienne was 13th in League One, but we took them all the way to penalty kicks. So, and yeah, it may not have been their strongest team, but still, their backups are at least as good as our first teamers, if not a little bit better. Tremoni taps it to Matthew on the free kick. Oh, VAR confirmed the penalty. Son of a gun. Come on, Florian Frey with the penalty kick. And he blasts it past Adriani. Okay, that happens. We'll get it back. Go to the attack here the last 15 minutes of the first half. Give the boys a little encouragement. Coming up on halftime, a very even game. We each have 5 shots, 2 on target, 1 off target. They've had the one clear-cut chance. Possessions, for all intents and purposes, the same. We've got a minuscule advantage. So this is definitely not the Ajaccio team we played the first game. They've obviously tightened up. Corner kick. Diallo taps it to Brigado, who holds it up. Sends it in, but it goes right to Grange. He holds it. Kicks it long. Goes right back to Brigado. Brings it up to Bernardi, who loses it. Dispossessed by Matthew. Oh, he gets the ball back. Bernardi driving forward. Splits the defenders. Holds it up. Crosses it in. Polo's there. So Soldevilla knocks it back to Polo, who buries it far post. You get them all close together. You want to make sure you're calling the right player's name. No, they're not going to allow it because what's his name was offsides in the back. Son of a gun. Maltese is going to come on for Bernardi. Altair is going to come off, and Joris is going to take his place. I'm bringing off Knezovic and switching to the 4-3-3 so I can bring on Petulidis, and he's going to switch with Soldevilla. Brigado on the throw-in to Frank. Passes it to Maltese. Long pass towards Novi in particular. Vales. Back to Dabila. Over to Tremonti. Cuts inside. Almost dispossessed. Maltese gets the errant pass. Polo has it. Holds it up. Taps it back to Sasha. Taps it over to Polo again. Well, he bounces it off a player. Polo in. Frank. And the header in front of 2 players and the keeper. Well, let's see this in the 3D. Sasha gives it to Polo, who tries crossing it in, but it bounces off the Ajaccio player back to Sasha. Oh, Frank just leaped up. No, he's on sides. Definitely on sides. 2 players and the keeper. Nice header. Petulidis loses the header, but he gets it back. Frank runs up and it picks up the ball, drives forward, passes it to Polo, who takes a shot. Grange with a nice block. Our corner kick, Diallo sends it in. Joris at the back, knocked out of bounds by Dabia. Our corner again. Frank sends it in. Yunga knocks it away, but Maltese has it at the top of the box. Being pursued. Knock it away. There you go. Polo has it. Crosses it in. No one's there. Diallo's going to run it down. He's going to send it back out to Emil, who's going to try and send it in. Bounces off an Ajaccio player. He runs it down, and that's the end of the highlight. All that for nothing. What are you going to do, huh? 2 minutes left in the game. Give the boys a little praise. Hopefully it won't upset them or go to their heads. They're fired up. 5 minutes left. 4 minutes of extra time. Diallo just went out injured. Oh, mother. Well, you know, we're going to move Maltese out to the left winger position. And we're just going to bring Soldevilla back to the defensive midline. And switch the tactics. Oh. Didn't want to switch the tactics. We're going to switch from positive to cautious. Because we're now 6 minutes into 4 minutes of extra time. The game is still going. If they score on this, I'm going to flip. Okay. Okay. Well done, guys. Now what's going on with Frank? Let's find out. Well, the Coupe League quarterfinal. Brushed aside AC Ajaccio. It's always nice when you can beat your rival. 2 to 4 weeks. Okay. Polo had a very solid game. He's been a very good pickup for us. So the semifinal is literally in 3 weeks. We'll come back for that, and I'll have some transfer news as well. So It was a very good game against Paris FC. It was a pretty good game against Ajaccio. It was an excellent game against Saint-Étienne. Even though there wasn't a lot going on, we did really, really well. There's no shame in losing it in penalty kicks, I think, for a team that was pretty good. We held our own. So, we'll find out. You know what? Are we going to find out who... You know, let's see who we're playing here real quick, and then we'll come back and see what the draw is. Yeah, the semifinal draw is right before our Ordez-Aveyron game, which is literally 3 days from now. Now, the Coupe Ligue semifinal is here, and the defending champions were knocked out last week, I believe. Let's go back to the quarterfinals here real quick. They lost on penalty kicks to Nantes. Nantes has been really good. Lyon beat Auxerre on penalty kicks. Nice beat Caen on penalty kicks. It's been a very penalty kicky tournament as I'm clicking all over the frickin' place. Okay. Nantes and Nice. That means we're playing Olympic Lyon. Okay, well, we'll get it done. We are the home team, which, well, yeah, we're the lower rated, we're the lower league team, so we would be the home team. Have we played them at all? No, we played Nantes last season in the quarterfinals and lost to them. It was Olympique Marseille that thumped us in 2020. And we played Nice really close in 2019. We didn't get past Dunkirk in the first year we were there. So, Olympique Lyon. Well, they're only second in Ligue 1 this year. And they're tied with Monaco. PSG's a point behind. Look at the gap there. We've got our work cut out. And as you can probably hear in the background, the thunderstorm's rolling in. So, I think it's a good time to cut this short. We are going to come back for the Lyon game in 3 weeks. We'll go over the transfers we have up to that point. I've already made a couple moves, so I'm not going to show you them yet. And cross our fingers. Hope we can play them as well as we played Saint-Étienne. Maybe we'll get lucky. If you liked what you've seen and heard, please leave a like. Subscribe to the channel for more content. Questions, criticisms, comments, leave those down below. I'll answer as fast as I can. My name's FM19, and I thank you for watching the Return Out Glory with SC Bastia.